What do you do with a gift you were forced to accept? A gift built by an oppressive regime to remind you who was in charge. In Poland, the answer is etched into the Warsaw skyline. The Palace of Culture and Science is either an elephant in lacy underwear, a symbol of national trauma, or a living testament to Polish resilience. But it can't be both. Or can it? Let's uncover the story of a building that is loved and hated, and what its survival reveals about the soul of a nation. The story of the palace begins with an insult disguised as a gift. It was commissioned by Józef Stalin as a gift from the Soviet people to the Polish people. But the Polish people had a different name for it, the unwanted gift. This was a building they couldn't refuse, proposed by the same man, Vyacheslav Molotov, who had signed the pact that partitioned Poland just years earlier. For many, the entire gesture was seen as a deliberate act of political servitude. It was, in their eyes, a grand, ostentatious trophy of Soviet dominance, mocking the Polish nation. And it was not a free gift. Poland had to co-fund the monument to its own subjugation, with some popular folklore claiming the Poles paid for it many times its value in coal. The construction was a massive effort, taking over 3 years to complete and utilizing 3,500 Soviet workers who were housed in a new residential complex that Poland was forced to pay for. But the true cost was measured in human lives. The official records state that 16 Soviet workers died during construction, but city gossip circulated a much darker rumor, that some bodies were callously entombed within the foundations or sealed behind the walls. This macabre folklore is another painful layer in the building's history, a deep scar that remains to this day. The architecture itself was another form of psychological warfare. The building, designed by Soviet architect Lev Rudnev, was a near-identical twin to Moscow's Seven Sisters skyscrapers. While Rudnev did try to incorporate elements of Polish Renaissance architecture, like parapets from Krakow and Zamość, the overall effect was seen as an obscene size and opulence that mocked Polish nationality. In response, Poles gave the building a long list of sarcastic and vulgar nicknames, from Pekin, Beijing, and Patik, Stick, to the deeply offensive Ciuć Stalina. The poet Władysław Broniewski famously called it the nightmare of a drunk confectioner. One of the most famous jokes perfectly encapsulated this sentiment. What is the most beautiful spot in Warsaw? The 30th floor of the Palace of Culture, since it is the only place from which you can't see it. This wasn't just a joke, it was a profound act of cultural resistance, turning a symbol of oppression into a national punchline. For decades, the hate component was the dominant narrative. After the fall of communism, proposals to tear the palace down were frequent. This wasn't about architecture, it was about catharsis, a desperate desire to physically and symbolically sever ties with the communist past. Even prominent political figures, like former Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski, have publicly supported demolition. For a significant portion of the older generation, the building is still a visceral reminder of a time of human rights violations. But here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. The biggest surprise is that the Palace of Culture and Science is still standing, not just as a landmark, but as a vital part of modern Warsaw. This is the love component of the story, a powerful testament to Polish ingenuity and pragmatism. The building is no longer a static monument to an old ideology. It's a bustling, mixed-use cultural and commercial hub. This is not a love born of affection for its history, but one of necessity and reclamation. The palace is now home to 4 theaters, a cinema with 8 screens, 2 museums, and a major university. The Congress Hall inside has hosted legends like the Rolling Stones and Leonard Cohen, who performed there during the time of martial law. The Polish people didn't tear down the building, they co-opted it. They filled it with their own art, their own science, their own commerce, effectively defeating its original oppressive meaning. And let's not forget how it fits into the new Warsaw. At 237 meters tall, it's still one of the tallest buildings in Poland and an unmistakable part of the city skyline. But it is now surrounded by modern skyscrapers, a visual metaphor for a new Poland rising around its past. The famous joke about the 30th floor viewing terrace now has a new punchline. It's one of the best places to see the breathtaking, ever-changing panorama of the city. The palace has even become a canvas for modern political statements, illuminated in blue and yellow in solidarity with Ukraine and with the red bolt of the women's strike protests. It's a platform for a new generation to express their own values, using the very monument that was meant to silence them. So, the debate over demolition, though it still surfaces, is less about a symbolic act and more about practicality. Demolishing it would be prohibitively expensive. A 2024 poll showed that only 10% of Poles still want to see it go. And since 2007, it has been officially listed as a protected cultural heritage site. The story of the Palace of Culture and Science is the story of a nation that refuses to be defined by its trauma. The hate is a constant, necessary reminder of where the building came from. The love is an acknowledgement of what it has become. It's a living palimpsest, where the painful history is forever etched into its foundations. But new, beautiful layers of culture and resilience have been inscribed over them. It's a testament to the Polish spirit, a people who took an unwanted symbol of their past and transformed it into a powerful, indispensable part of their future. What do you think? If you've been to Warsaw, what was your first thought when you saw it? Let us know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this journey into Polish history, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more stories like this, and check out the links in the description for more information. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time on The Poland.